quick video to kind of show you a bit of history of where the car started, how it got from this lovely looking blue Mark 1 Golf GTI to the car that you've all seen today. And this will be the short version. This has been 13 years in the making, so if you've enjoyed looking at the updates over the years, then like my page and I'll keep providing some updates. So I bought the car back in 2007 for about £2,500, which was actually a reasonable amount for a Mark 1 Golf at that point. Had a factory BBS body kit on it and was painted in Rover Pageant Blue. The previous owner had receipts of up to 10 grand, which again back in the day, in 1999 when it was built, was a lot to sink into a Mark 1. I ran it for a number of years, took it to a few shows until selling it to a friend so I could purchase my first flat. He stripped out the interior, put a roll cage in, some bucket seats and some harnesses, and it was driven daily for another year or so before having a slight unfortunate collision with a bollard in the snow. I was devastated, he was devastated, I think I was more devastated, but it worked out in the end because it meant that he took it off the road, went and got something else, and I was able to buy it back for not a bad price. I think I paid about 2k for it. Obviously a lot of work needs to be done on it, but it was back in my hands and I was happy. Over the next few months, I pulled the BBS kit from it, had a look around, made sure everything was okay, put some new bumpers on, a new bonnet, a pair of genuine wings, and it started to become a bit of a Frankenstein. But I put it through its MOT and was able to do a bit of a rolling restoration on it. In 2012, this is where the fun started. I stripped the car down and actually drove it to the body shop to get it painted in Porsche Classic Sport grey paint. Unfortunately, after 10 months, the car came back in a bit of a sorry state. Runs in the paint, dirt under the paint, rough spots, fish eyes, oversprays, and generally bad repairs. It was at this point I took the car from where it was being stored at my parents' house, put it back in my own garage, and left it there until I could really work out what I wanted to do with it next. So mid-2013, after the birth of my first son, I started stripping the car back, sanding the shell and engine bay back to bare metal. Almost every area I unearthed some very questionable repairs from the paint shop, stacks of filler and lots of rust. During this time I sent the car to get a new roof. The original had a huge aftermarket sunroof which didn't really fit the curvature of the roof, so leaked heavily. It didn't help that when driving the car to the paint shop, the sunroof decided to completely detach itself from the car and shatter across the dual carriageway. With no option to replace it, I just decided to purchase a new roof. This was fitted by removing all the spot welds from the original roof and bonding the new one in place using BMW Mini Roof adhesive. Now, another job that I really wish that I hadn't even bothered doing was removing the underseal from the car. Seemed like a great idea at the time. I really wanted to see what was underneath. Fortunately, there wasn't anything really lurking underneath, which kind of means that taking the underseal off was a bit of a pointless exercise. I spent probably a year doing the underside of the car. Some days I'd walk into the garage, sit and look at the car for 45 minutes, and then just leave. I just had no enthusiasm, no motivation, and I really wish I hadn't done it. But it was done, the car was clean, And finally, after 2 children, a house move, a marriage, threats of burning the car, selling it, scrapping it, I'd finally stripped the car inside, outside and underneath. At the end of 2017, it finally went to be painted for the second time at clearly a different paint shop. The car was fully undersealed, painted inside and out. The paint came out amazing and I was absolutely buzzing to get the car finished. The plan was, because it was just before Christmas, to get the car painted first, do the shell, and then the panels would follow. Unfortunately, a divorce at the end of 2017 meant the panels just never went back and they never got put into paint. So the shell was all done, looking amazing, and I had the panels sat in my garage doing absolutely nothing. The shell stayed like this for quite a few years. I spent a lot of my time stripping parts, painting them, powder coating them, zinc plating them, sourcing any items that I needed. Every single nut, bolt and part was either renewed, replaced, minus 1 or 2 that I'm still finding, and that kept me busy for a number of years. Fast forward to 2024, I'd reached a point where I had very little left to restore. The parts were all ready to be fitted. The last paint shop had now closed after COVID, so I booked it into a new paint shop to get the panels done. Being a silver metallic, we agreed that we would paint the shell at the same time as painting the panels, so we knew that it would all match. Before dropping all the panels up to the paint shop, I spent a bit of time sanding them down to bare metal. I did the wings, the boot lid and both the doors, and got them all ready for a coat of primer as soon as they got up to the paint shop. I managed to spend a bit of time up there helping prep out the panels, getting the guide coat on, doing the final sanding and getting any imperfections sorted before the final coat of primer. Once the panels had been prepped and were ready for paint, we moved on to the shell. I went up and spent a couple of days with the guys prepping the shell and getting it all ready to go into the booth. What a job the guys at the paint shop did. There she is, absolutely gleaming in a fresh coat of diamond silver. Panels have been put on loosely fitted just so we can get it home. Obviously we'll be doing the panel gaps and the door alignments and everything when I get a bit of time. But here she is, absolutely chuffed to bits with how it's turned out. Long way to go yet, but the build up has started. So like, follow, and I'll keep you guys up to date with the progress.